Alright guys, we're back for another Dokkan battle video, and today we're going to take a look at our boy Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Currently, this is the only Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta in Dokkan, but that is going to change very, very soon, right, where we're going to get a brand new Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta that has the exact same, like, it's just Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, right? So this guy is getting a direct replacement, which, I mean, this guy is still pretty good. You know, maybe you'll hear some people say he's bad and stuff like that. Like, I definitely would not go that far. This Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta certainly is not going to be, doing the same amounts of damage that he used to do, or, you know, just be as overly impressive as he once was. But he could still do some very, very good things, right? So, of course, we have him at full level 10 links. Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is another sort of odd case for links in Dokkan, because it, like, literally, like, any, like, Saiyan link or something like that, like, this guy could qualify for, right? Like, you know, like Saiyan Roar is a good example of a link that many Great Ape characters have got, which is a monster attack link, and really makes some of the Super Saiyan 4s very deadly alongside each other. But Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta does not have it, right? Then it may be something else like Prepared for Battle, another link that Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta easily could have, but, you know, instead he's got Shocking Speed, Over in a Flash, and Fuse Fighter. He's also got GT, because he, of course, is from Dragon Ball GT. Now, one thing about Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, like, you know, is the case for a lot of these fusion characters, is that, you know, the fusions get a lot better from link levels and stuff like that, right? So if we take a look at Shocking Speed, right, which used to only be Ki, now defense. It gets a buff to defense as well. I believe this one right here is Over in a Flash. Not just Ki, but now it also gives attack as well. We go ahead and take a look at this one, Fuse Fighter. Not just Ki, but now it gives attack and defense as well, right? And then we can go ahead and take a look at, let's see, this is Fierce Battle, GT, Super Saiyan. Like, a lot of these links that, you know, previously for the fusions, like, they're already overflowing with Ki, right? You know, with Shocking Speed, Over in a Flash, Fuse Fighter, all this stuff. But now, these characters are getting buffs from these links alongside just the Ki, right? Like, yeah, we're getting Ki from it, but they're also getting, like, attack and offensive buffs, whereas, you know, they need that, but they don't really need the Ki. So that's where the link level update is going to be very good for a lot of characters on the level of, like, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta right here. So we have a few links active. What is this? This is Fierce Battle, Kamehameha, Over in a Flash, and Fuse Fighter are all active with the LR Blue Gogeta right here. So let's go ahead and see how much damage Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is going to put up. Remember that his defense is going to go up by 50% on super attack. 2 million, right? Which is fine. I mean, that's a fine attack stat for a unit that came out in 2017. But don't forget, what makes this Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta truly deadly, okay, there's a second super attack, so his defense would have went up by 50% twice. His attack gets a 50% buff on attack as well. But he also has, perfect, there we go. Gogeta has a 70% chance to dodge and counter enemy super attacks. Now, I have said for a long time that if we got an updated version to that ability on, like, a top tier unit right now, like, you know, this Gogeta has 120% attack at the start of turn, but he doesn't have any, like, start of turn defensive buff or anything like that, right? It's just not the way this unit works. You know, he does have a little bit of a debuff, 20% attack and defense. He lowers all enemies' attacks if they're extreme class, but that's pretty much it. And then he raises his defense on super, right? But, like, if you had, for example, this TUR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta we're going to get in a week or two, you know, you give that guy 150% attack and defense at the start of turn, plus he keeps that 70% chance to dodge and counter super attacks, and then maybe, like, one other thing, and, like, he's, like, practically the best unit in the game. Because, like, you know, you look at any difficult content, Legendary Goku event, Infinite Dragon Ball History, Super Battle Road, Battlefield, all these places, it gets really scary when you're going to get hit by a super attack, right? That's where the enemies are primarily doing all of their damage. If you have a character that most of the time, or at least consistently, is going to block that damage, then, I mean, it's just like it really is dramatically lowering your chances of even losing. Like, it's why, like, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is still decent even now in difficult modes and stuff like that. Alright, so now that the blue Gogeta transformed, we now are going to have Super Saiyan on top of the other things. Does blue Gogeta still have Kamehameha? He does. Okay, so we can just go ahead and do this right here. That will go ahead and activate Kamehameha for us. So now we have 5 out of 7. The only 2 we don't have active are, of course, GT and Shocking Speed. Yeah, GT and Shocking Speed. Both of those links, GT and Shocking Speed, would give Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta defense, by the way, which is definitely something that does help him out quite a bit. So let's go ahead and see what attack set he's doing right here. Again, keep in mind that these attack sets we're seeing from Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta are without support, right? We're on just a full fusion team right now with no support around. 2.29 million, pretty good. I mean, honestly, these are very solid attack stats considering he's not getting support. And it just goes to show you how much different things are now that this link level update system has become a thing. All of these characters are now able of doing just ridiculous amounts of damage, ridiculous attack stats right away, just as long as you're using like characters that are linking up, you know, fairly well correctly. These, like, you're gonna do so much freaking damage. I kind of want to let this blue Gogeta get an attack in real quick, but I mean, there's no way Goku and Vegeta are gonna survive this turn, not with this LR blue Gogeta attacking. And then we have Gotenks at the end right there, so that's gonna be the end of this run right here. So, the one negative about Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, very similar to, like, Super Saiyan 4 Goku, is their lack of categories. They're not on that many category teams, right? Gogeta only has Fusion, Shadow Dragon Saga, Kamehameha, and Final Trump Card. Hopefully, the new Gogeta is a leader for the Shadow Dragon Saga team, so that team can actually be run, and hopefully we get, you know, quite a few buffs for the team, rather than just the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, but, you know, we, of course, will see, right? So, alright, let's go ahead and move on to one of those other teams now. Alright, so now we are on the Kamehameha team. Of course, over on this team, there's going to be a lot of units that are going to work very well with Gogeta. Characters that are going to have Fierce Fighter, Shocking Speed, Over the Flash, Fierce Battle. You know, a lot of the normal links you would think of that a lot of these powerful, like, Fusion, Super Saiyan characters, you know, basically the characters that everyone wants to run, right? All the Dokkan Fest LRs, Fusions, LR UI Goku, 2.43, pretty good. But these are all exactly the types of characters that people like to run. Like, I feel like a lot of, like, free-to-play players, like, the teams they want to build is they want to get, like, you know, again, like, Vegito Blue, UI Goku, all these characters, just mash them onto one team regardless of how they fit. Now, the good news is that, again, with a lot of these fusions and stuff like that, their key links are so strong that you can just sort of, like, rock them pretty much all together, right? Like, of course, we have, like, Blue Kaioken Goku here. Blue Kaioken Goku is going to be tremendous with Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Of course, he's going to have a lot of links, right? You know, they have Super Saiyan, Kamehameha, Shocking Speed, Over the Flash, and Fierce Battle. So they have 5 of 7 links to Blue Kaioken Goku. And Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta has, right? So, like, you know, if you're going to run him, you're just running all these different, like, characters that have some of these links and stuff like that. Like, of course, we're just going to tear through events super, super fast like this. Alright, so let's see how Gogeta's going to do on this turn. So here, of course, we have one of the pinnacles in physical Vegito Blue, right? I guess if we go ahead and rock Gogeta right here, this is going to be good because, again, we're going to activate 5 out of 7 links again for Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. The only things we're not going to have here is Shocking Speed and GT, right? GT, again, is not a link we're going to get too often unless we're going to run, like, another Super Saiyan 4 or something, probably. And then, of course, here's where Gogeta, like, defensively, we're not going to have to worry about him really taking damage. In, like, Infinite Dragon Ball History or Super Battle Road or something like that, yeah, Gogeta can get hit very hard, especially before he super attacks. He can get absolutely just crushed, right? Typically, he can fare okay after he super attacks. Maybe not good enough to really make runs at, like, no item attempts. But, like, he's definitely not, like, the worst liability of all time, I would say, right? I mean, he is still a good unit, even in his sort of, like, older age at this point. So that's why, I am very excited to see what this new Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is going to do. I mean, when you just look at the base of what this TEQ one does, like, again, even now, you know, like, on the rotation, just with physical Vegito Blue, he's at a 2.5 million attack stat. And we got the super attack counter on, you know, future Gohan's super attack right there. That's where all of the damage we would have sustained for that turn was going to come from. So when we cut that out, we don't have to worry about that damage right there. Like, that's a really big deal, right? It's just going to make it to where, like, we're not really going to have to worry too much, you know, with those types of units together. And then, obviously, Physical Vegito Blue, you know, we know how good he can be against normal attacks, right? And how powerful he is, all the damage he could do, him raising his defense on super attack, you know, all the different intangibles that dude's got with him as well. Now, see, if we had Gogeta in the middle, we would have all, like, 6 out of 7 links. Yeah, I guess we'll just do this. Let's put Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta at the start. What's our defense? 46k? I'm curious to see how much damage, because I imagine Gogeta will take damage right here. Before he super attacks and he greatly raises his defense. Let's see. Yeah, 25k. I mean, that's a fair bit of damage right there. That's where this Gogeta can really begin to lag behind now, is his defense before he attacks, right? That's where he'll take damage. But after he gets that super attack off, at that point, we don't really have to worry about things too much. Alright guys, so now we're on the final trump card team. Of course, we're going to be able to get some good stats here from our boy over on the final trump card team. You know, and of course, you know, final trump card / Patara, always the way I like to build it, because then, you know, we can get like Supremo Pie of Time on here. We can start getting some, you know, very good support. You know, you can rock Turles. We got the God Topo EZA. There's just a lot of very good units that you can run on Final Trump Card that will make a lot of these units like Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and all this stuff look pretty good. Because, you know, I mean, their supports, they're giving ki, they give attack, they're giving defense, they're giving everything. So it's very, very good. And I mean, we're seeing Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, like, we're running him with very good units, and he's just consistently shooting out like 2 million attack stats, right? It's not like we're rocking, like, you know, weak units on rotation just to get Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta to look good. Like, he's decent enough. That's why, I know this new Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta that's going to be coming is going to be just absolutely vicious. Like, you could definitely... I can't wait, man. He's going to be a monster. I definitely think he could be the best TUR. I think he can easily replace what, like, Ultimate Gohan is doing right now. You know, we have Angel Golden Frieza looks so impressive. You know, Cooler is so good. And I think we can go ahead and get this new Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta to come in and just dominate on all of them. And then especially, like, it's obvious, for them to just drop a new Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta right now, it's very clearly they have a big gun waiting in the wings. There's a reason why they're going to do that. They're not just going to toss out, you know, a random, oh, we just decided to drop Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, only the second one in basically 6 years of the game existing. It's like, yeah, they're putting him out here. I think they're going to make him ridiculous. I think his banner's probably going to be super good, and it's going to be one of those things where it's like, yeah, it's going to be very difficult to avoid summoning for him, and then they might drop something insanely hype right after him, right? Maybe a Dragon Ball Heroes unit or something like that. I'm thinking it's very, very likely to happen. So, alright, so now we have him here with Super Vegito. Of course, Super Vegito is going to have a lot of those good links active, right? Of course, you know, we've got things like Fuse Fighter, Shocking Speed. You know, we'll be able to get Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta to a pretty decent attack stat. We'll go ahead and super attack first as well with Vegito, because, of course, Vegito does give that little bit of an attack buff on super attack, right? So that's going to allow Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta to get a little bit of an extra sort of like attack buff from what what we would normally see from him. Maybe we can even get double super attacks from Super Vegito, right? Because, you know, he did have some counters. No, okay, well, that's unfortunate. Vegito's actually probably going to do a lot of damage right here. If he could just get those damn crit counters, that's the only thing, man. Like, Super Vegito, Vegito Blue, like, you just have to have them crit countering, and then they're really going to start to do a lot of damage rapidly, right? My Vegito, I think I've got a level 5 silver crit on him, too. It's not like he's very low in crits or anything. Because, again, for those types of units, you have to give them maximum crit. Alright, so there we go. 2.43 for Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta now. Able to do a lot of damage. Very, very good right there. And then don't forget, too, that the double super attack is going to be very good defensively for Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, because that's where he's going to get the double defensive increase, which obviously is very, very big. So, okay. I guess let's get this going a couple more turns, because we do want to see the big-time support start to roll in, right? Like, I brought 50% Tien. He, of course, is on the final trump card category, right? And, you know, he's going to be able to give the 50% attack and defense to Gogeta, which obviously is going to be, you know, very, very helpful. The only thing is I do want to be careful, because I feel like we potentially could finish off Boo-Tanks here. Like, if I went all out with Vegito Blue, I feel like we actually could finish this LR Boo-Tanks boss off right here. Because, you know, I mean, the blue fusions, once they go blue, they're still capable of doing ridiculous, radical damage, right? Yeah, especially if he would have gotten a third super attack. And then, I mean, this AJL Blue Kaioken Goku, you know, he's still capable of doing very decent damage here and there as well, right? Although I don't really have a lot of, whatchamacallit, I don't have a lot of link levels on my AGL Blue Kaioken Goku. He's not a unit I use too often. Okay, so let's go ahead. Alright, so let's see. So Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, he's only getting over on a flash from Tien, so I think this is probably the best way for us to take a look at this. We'll go Super Vegito first, then we'll do Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, and then we'll go ahead and rock Tien at the end. So up to 65k defense right there with Tien on rotation. That's pretty good. That's very, very solid right there from Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. And then, of course, you know, when he's super attacking, the defense goes up by 50% as well. So, you know, we could see a pretty decent number. I mean, he'll be at what, like 95k-ish, 2.77, pretty good right there by Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Like, you know, we can get that defensive number up over 100k if he would double super attack. And there's, of course, the super attack counter, always very, very good. You know, you get the crits on that, and that's a lot of damage he's doing right there. And he's taking double digits after. So yeah, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, man, he's really good even now. Like, it's just like, you know, you want to use him in the right situation. I guess don't, like, think too highly of him. If it would come to something like Super Battle Road or something like that, he definitely could get taken out in the wrong situation. But don't forget that he does also have that attack debuff. Oh, we can get one of these in here. Sure, why not? Let's go ahead and bust that out. But don't forget that Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta does also have that attack and defense debuff on the enemy. He'll lower extreme class enemies' attack by 20%, which is pretty good, right? So that's another thing where if you know you're going into a fight where you're going up against extreme class enemies and then Gogeta's able to do that, like, that's going to be very, very helpful to sort of, you know, keeping the enemy in check a little bit, combined with his super attack counters, and then just everything else he's capable of doing. So there we go. There is our boy Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. He is getting a replacement coming very, very soon. We have the boy with full level 10 links. Again, the one big issue with him, I would say, is his lack of category teams, right? I mean, we looked at him on Fusion, Final Trump Card, and Kamehameha. He's also on the Shadow Dragon Saga team, but currently, as it stands, it's very difficult to even find leaders to run this team, right? That's why I'm actually very hopeful that the new Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta will lead this category team, because then that would be a character we would be very likely to see for a while, like show up on the friends list. But they're going to have to release several new characters for the Shadow Dragon team in order for that to actually, like, be a team that people will want to run constantly and consistently. But, you know, we'll see how things go. So let me know what you guys think of our boy Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, full level 10 links. Thanks, guys, for watching, and I'll go ahead and catch y'all next time.